Everyone, welcome to the Guys Constant talk about faith and fact related to a guy's life. Today I want to talk about a very interesting topic, a topic that is spinning me. This topic has a hole in my heart. Please, don't allow that sister see this. Don't allow some sister see this thing. Just hide it. It's a secret, a top secret for us. Top secret. Sometimes it pains me when I hear people say, she says she sees me like a brother. She says that we're going too much. We are too much friends for she to marry me. And I used to wonder, is it a stranger she wants to get married to? Or is it someone that is not a brother she wants to get married to? So it's funny enough how we've invested a lot of things in a relationship, in a friendship, because we're hoping we go to the permanent side and we end up not getting there. We end up in fact, there's no heartbreak as strong as that heartbreak. That you want to start a relationship with somebody, you've invested a lot of things, your resources, your time, and at the end she's come up with that line that, you're just like a brother to me. Please stop it. I know how many siblings I have. Please stop it. And funny enough, I've been in that shoe before. So I know how it feels, And I want to talk about friendzoning. And why brothers get stuck into the friendzone parts. Now, I won't be doing a lot of justice on this topic in this episode. Probably in the subsequent episode, we'll talk about it more deeply. But today, I just talk about the pains and how to actually escape being the friend zone. Yeah, let me use that word, friend zone. And this is one very, very painful thing for many brothers. And first of all, I'll say this thing out, and I'll say it out and clear. As a brother, be clear from whatever you want in the relationship. Be very clear. Even if you are not clear from the start, the moment you start feeling somehow, tell the sister. The highest the person will say is no. Than just being in a place and hoping for something or building your castles in the air. In fact, that is one of the most painful things that can happen to anybody. Hoping that something will happen, and at the end, one guy will just come from nowhere and just win her heart and she'll just go. That's because most of the times we are not clear. And one thing about sisters are never alone. Point is that they may not be in a relationship, but they will have somebody that will use as emotional bank. And they can use you as an emotional bank to bank and hold you or hold themselves till that person comes around. And when that person comes around, you are not dispensable. You are not replaceable. So how can you know if you have been friend zoned or you have been brother zoned? They are two the same thing, friend zone and brother zone. They do the same thing. Please, let's just know this now. First of all, how to avoid, let's talk about how to avoid before you talk about how to know. First to avoid is to be very clear. In fact, be very, very clear about what you want. Even at the first of the relationship, we never imagined that both of you never imagined that feeling never came. Then it was just platonic for you from the first time, and that's good because most beautiful relationships start as friends. They start as friends. So probably you never had that mind. You just like, okay, she's just my friend, and along the road, something start building up in your mind. Conviction start building up in your mind. At that point in time, it's good you just you just tell her. And if you can't tell her because of the length of the friendship, please tell someone that can talk to her. Just make sure it's being communicated to her. Because most times, before you can even tell a sister out, she already knows. Probably she already read your thing that you have feelings for her. Or because she's not seen as that. She won't just come and tell you too. So that's that point, whenever you just feel like this is a sister, please communicate it at that point in time. And sometimes I say, and sometimes I know you'll be answering this question, what about if I tell her she said that she's not ready? Sometimes when they start telling that I'm not ready, there's a silent word that at least not with you. There's a sentence that is silent there, at least when they say I'm not ready, there's a silent word that says at least not with you. That's the reason why we have to be careful of how we invest our emotions, how we invest our feelings into some relationship. And that's it when you communicate it very clear. She said that she doesn't want to be with you. You can actually go back to the friend side and try to get over her. Because it's more painful that somebody you have been open for, you didn't say any word, and you see her getting married, and you now be the one to be serving drink on her wedding. Or you finally just bottle up a man of sorry and just tell her, see the way I'm feeling and all that, and she just tell you that you're my brother, I'm seeing you as a brother and all that. Now let me tell you the reasons why girls brother zone or friend zone people. First of all, no girls are attracted to a man that cannot lead them. She has perceived that you are not a leader enough for her. No girl wants to subscribe to a man she cannot respect. So probably during the course of the friendship, there are times you didn't act as a leader. So at times you didn't show her that part of a leader. So she sees you as a paddy, she sees you as, let me use the word, a sister, not even a brother. Now she sees you as somebody, so she could not lead her. Probably there are times she look up to you to actually take a move, make a move, be a leader at something. You didn't take that move because we're trying not to hurt her feelings, we're trying to be too good. Some brothers, we are trying to be too good. Good and nice is not the fruit of the Spirit. In fact, your work is not the work of a helper, that's the work of the Holy Spirit. Don't be too much of an helper. Don't help person above yourself. Don't help person. It's good to be selfless sometimes, but sometimes love yourself more. Two of the most attractive traits in a guy's life is a guy that loves himself. That means a guy that knows his self-worth, and a guy that's a leader. If a guy does not perceive those two things about you, she will never be attracted to you. There's a part of a lady that wants to follow a man that can lead. And when they see you as during the friendship stage, there's no part, you didn't take responsibility at all. In fact, you are a sister to them. So there should be that. And sometimes one thing that happens to guys is that when the guy truly loves a girl, because the guy is giving a heart to a girl, the first of his defense that breaks is the defensive of that leadership part. We tend to lose ourselves, we tend to lose everything, we tend to be too vulnerable. At that point, we let a lot of guards down. Sometimes when you want to make some decisions, you consider first, consider of the general good. So times like that, she sees those things to you, you are interpreting love to her, but to her, she is interpreting those things as weakness. So that's why we need to be careful in balancing these things. I'm not saying you shouldn't be good to a girl, be nice to be doing it, but understand the times when you have to say no. One of the greatest forms of self-love is the ability to say no. And people know when you cannot say no. Sisters know you cannot say no to them. No girl will marry a guy that cannot say no to her, to some certain extent. I don't because the balance, not to some certain extent. No sister wants to follow a guy that cannot stand up for himself. Let me give you an example. That she may be in an hostel or she may be in a house and she calls you when he's waiting. Hey, John, bring this thing for me very fast, and you leave your comfort zone and just start rolling it there. Now, the reason why she calls because she knows you will do it. But sometimes when she calls you, think, can there be another option to this? Can there be another solution? You find another solution to it without actually putting yourself at risk, without actually doing some things that you are overleaving yourself behind. Sometimes you just have to learn to say no. Learn to say a word and stand by it. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Learn to say something and stand by it. Learn not to compromise too much. Learn not to compromise the most important things to you. Or else you just see like somebody she can just toss to the right, toss to the that they used to call it in Africa sentence. Those of us that are watching not from Africa, Umarapa. No lady will actually like Umarapa. No lady will actually, they will like you as a friend, but they don't like you as a spouse. They will keep you there to use you as an emotional bank, but they will not make you a spouse. Because they know they're not just marrying a brother or a friend, they're marrying a leader. And a leader that compromises his values, that compromises his stand all the time, is not worth of a leader following. So that's the reason why sometimes girls put us in that friend zone. We are their bank, we are their render of last resort. So you need to learn how to live every relationship of what. And most times, sometimes it's not balanced. They say this life no balance, but I feel it's balanced. Don't know what you're looking at it from. Now, guys use these girls for other things. What girls use these guys for is for emotional backup. Yes, emotional backup. I mean, if you become an emotional backup to a sister, no matter the English you will speak, she always see you as a bro, as a friend zone, that friend zoned you. And how can you deliver yourself from friend zoning? One way to deliver yourself from friend zoning is to put more value to yourself and restrict him completely. Now, every relationship should be balanced, should be both ways, should be mutual. Every relationship you're able to give and receive, even not in equal, even if it's not an equal ratio, but at least there should be a sense of the difference shouldn't be too much. A lady that cannot do much for you and doing much for her is not balanced. There should be a sense of balance in that relationship. Now, how can you win your stand back? First of all, is to completely back off that relationship, that friendship, completely back off. Let her chase after you. If she really values you, let her come after you. Let her, at that point, you have the enough bargaining rights to now place things in a balanced scale. What I'm saying is this. Let's assume you have a friend or a sister that are put in a friend zone or in brother zone, and you know, probably you won't talk to her. She told you know that she seems like a brother or a sister. Like, see, if you don't know how many siblings your parents gave birth soon. First thing you have to do in that particular point in time is you just cut off from her. See, not just completely cut off from her, because she won't want to do without you. She wouldn't want to do without you. She wouldn't want to do without you. She want to still coming back and start getting what she's getting from me, the emotion and everything. But completely at that point, cut off from her completely. Completely cut off from her. And just let her chase after you. Still love her, still like her, still do whatever you want to do to her or from a distance. But completely just reduce the relationship, reduce the closeness. Then when she starts coming after you, at that point, bargain your stand. Now when she's coming back, you tell her, this is how I'm feeling. Are you ready to meet up to my feelings? She says no, then let our friendship be a distance friendship. Give me space so I can actually recover from you. So I can start liking somebody, or I can invest my heart and my feelings to somebody else. That should be the best way for you to bargain it. Bargain yourself back into the relationship or bargain yourself out of the relationship, because it's not a very good spot to stand in. It's not a very admirable spot to stand in. So this is one way for you to actually escape the trap of friendzoning and brotherzoning. Now, one other way to actually escape it is the way she calls you. Pause, let me ask you this one. Now, for example, she calls you, your name is John, and in the fellowship, or let me use fellowship, now in the fellowship you are Preyo, she's calling you Preyo. Please tell her to stop calling you Preyo, your name is John. Or she's calling you Papa, tell her to stop calling you Papa, your name is John. She's calling you brother John, tell her to stop calling you brother John, your name is John. See, sometimes those prefixes to name are the reason why we are being friend-zoned. Because they have seen you as brother John, they have seen you as Papa John, they have seen you as Preyo, but then it's not difficult for them to see you as John, their lover. So at that point in time, stop those prefixes. In fact, let it stop. In as much, yes, tenor or whatever thing you guys have used for a while, it means that thing stop. Let her stop calling you. It means that your tenor of as per you or as whatever you are, as bro, and the bro does not stop. But the other ones, once anybody use hand over, please meet her and say, see, my name is not Noga Papa this, my name is brother. No, my name is John. Let us start, because when start, sometimes when we call people, the way we call people influences the way we see them. Now she's calling you this, you'll be seeing you as Papa, she's seeing you as bro. So let us start calling you by your name. If I let us start calling you by your nickname, now it's even easier at that part. So she starts seeing you the way she's calling you. But if she keep calling you with those surface, it's difficult for her to come down from that mountain and see you the way you really are. Sometimes sisters friend zone without them even knowing. Sometimes sisters even use us without it being intentional. But at that point, that you have to call their attention to it. Call their attention to it. Then again, that coming to ask for relationship advice too much. They are telling boys that are asking you out, any long thing though. They are telling you to advise them to join them in praying for one brother that is. See, if you like a sister, it's not come to tell you that a brother is asking her that you and her should pray. At that particular point, I give her the prayer answer. In fact, just tell her that particular point, I say, I'm not praying for you. Why? Because I like you. Just tell her that, because if you pray for her to see vision for your brother, in fact, you've sold yourself by yourself. In fact, that's the end. How can you be asking me to pray for a brother that is asking you out, for you to see vision for the brother, and I'm here? That's if I have interest. At that point, I just tell her, open up and speak, communicate, be clear, and tell her that particular point in time. Not after the prayer, before the prayer. Because that's one point to know that's one sign to know that you are fast, you have been, how do you use the word father zoned? So at that point in time, just come out and say, sister, this is it. So, what was that topic again? Friend zoning. Please, brothers that are still in the friend zone part, please, there is still redemption for you. And one of the biggest part of the redemption is communication. Tell her how you feel. Tell her what you want. Be very clear by what you want. Now, somebody was saying something that a girl, she may be telling you that, hey, I want you beside me for the rest of my life. Be ask her, as what? Somebody tell you that I want to be my life forever. Please be clear. It's not a romantic thing, because they can find a way to find words to play it ahead. That I want you to be my life for to be with me for the rest of my life. Please ask her, as what, sister? Be very clear with whatever you want. Be very clear with what you want. That's what will save you from the heartbreak in front of you. Thank you very much for joining us today. Please go and tell that sister, send her a message if you cannot call her. Talk to somebody that she can listen to if you cannot tell her yourself. But please, save yourself the heartbreak of being friend zone and brother zone. Okay, this is your first time on channel. Please like, subscribe, and click on the notification button. See you same time, next time. Until then, be at peace. Peace out.